Hey, good evening. I am so excited to be live on Lisa's page, Crafting and Cruising. What an honor and what a blessing it is to help her out during this time. I am Leesa with Leesa Boone Designs, and I'm going to be paper crafting today. So I hope you love to paper craft. She's an extraordinary artist that I am not. I love to watch her. And fun fact, I got to meet her, and I'm going to talk to you about that here in a minute. But I do want to say that Leesa is very inspirational to me, and I had in my head planned, I want to meet her in person. I want to meet her in person, and God made that happen. So I want to share that story, but I also want to talk about what she means to my event, and it's something that I do every first Sunday. It's called Christ and Crafting, and Leesa hops on with me and my other friends that are some wonderful creatives as well. And she always brings something amazing to the table. She is so grounded and rooted in Christ, and it's just an honor to be able to help her. So, hey Leesa, you all please follow. Okay, thank you. Yes, please follow my business page. I'm going to take this off here for a second. So I do want to talk to you about Leesa a little bit. Like I said, she's very inspiring, and she asked me if I would do this. And I was like, I didn't even know what the specifics were, but I was like, yes, of course I would help you. Because again, she just brings so much richness and goodness and deepness to Christ and Crafting, and everything that she does, everything I've ever watched of hers, she's just so shining her light, so inspiring. So today, what we're going to do is I'm going to get ready for the um, friendship journal that we do every Sunday. So I'm on Team Vintage. It's something that we do inside of the Crafty bunch, and I just thought, okay, I can prep some papers and some ephemera, and I love sewing paper. And I'm going to be creating sewing pattern paper, and I'm going to be creating for one of my friends, Dina Ray, who actually lives close by. I think my phone is trying to ring, and I'm hoping it doesn't, because I just realized I forgot to put it on Do Not Disturb. Let me see if I can do that on my iPad. Because it will knock me out. Like, sure as the world. Well, I don't know. I may not be able to. Thank you for putting my link in there. So, every Sunday, there's a group of us that create a wonderful journal, a signature for somebody else. We're almost done. It's so sad. It's so sad. This is the last signature. So I just received the one that I'm going to be working on Sunday. And I opened it up because I was like, who do I have? I wasn't even thinking. Of course it's Dina Ray, because she's the one that I send my signatures to every single time. So we're wrapping it up. So she's going to get her signature back, and she's going to do a big reveal when she gets it back, and I'm so excited about this. I have pinned Lisa's page for you to go. Oh, thank you so much. So she has just started a sewing journal. Like, she's owned a scrapbook company years ago. She does a lot of paper crafting. She's pretty huge, and she only lives like 40 minutes from me. But she's also another inspiring Christian woman, and her husband Kenny. And so I thought, since she's just starting this journey in sewing, and she's having so much fun, I thought I'm going to inspire her to do that. So I collect and hoard. Collect is another word for hoard, right? Are you with me? So I have tons and tons of sewing pattern paper, and I have them still in their packages. I have so many. So as I use them, I just cut and save and save and save. Hello, Pink Butterfly by Becca. Hello, how are you? Oh, Leesa is a beautiful creator and a woman after God's own heart. I watched her on her radio. Oh, you did? Yes, I have a radio show called well, I was gonna say my TikTok. My TikTok is Love Local with Leesa. My radio show is the Shop Local show, that we stream on Facebook as well. So, okay, here's what I'm gonna do. I have a couple of pieces of paper. So Dina loves pink and pale pink and baby blue or pale aqua, something like that. And I have these papers. So sometimes I take these and I make journals out of them. But you can cut them and make some journal cards. There's all kinds of things that you can do with these, and I love them. Sometimes it's one woman and sometimes it's two. So I love that this one had two, and I figured I'm going to put this in her journal. I did that for this last journal I created that's going to Dina. Hey, Dory. Hey, welcome. Welcome, welcome. So the thing is, these papers are white, and I don't like that. So sometimes I do leave papers white, but I just thought this is something simple. Like if you don't have any pattern paper, you can pick it up usually at thrift stores or different places. Um, oops, covering myself up. I am going to use some of this text. So that's what I was trying to get. I was trying to get some of this text because I want to highlight some of it. And maybe this is not the one I want to highlight. Okay, let me see if I can find something else. Because I like having coffee dyed papers. So I didn't want to necessarily coffee dye that one. I could. I've done that before. Ooh, I like this. Okay. I like the arrows and the word simplicity. So I am going to put this kind of like here. And I cannot find my ruler. So while I'm cutting this, let me just tell you, I'm just going to cut it a little bit bigger. A couple of weeks ago, my husband and I had to take a trip to go to Missouri. And we were going, it was a business trip. He and I have a business called Boone in the Woods. So I have Leesa Boone Designs, but we also have Boone in the Woods. And he had to get some hunting blinds. He manages hunting farms here in Western Kentucky. And we had to go to Lamar, Missouri to pick up redneck blinds. And, you know, these are just big, indestructible, weatherproof blinds that hunters can use. We call them the condos. They're like really, really super, super nice. So we had a client that wanted some. We had a whole bunch of clients that wanted some. And at the last minute, a couple of the clients backed out and they only shipped them out in trailerfuls. So we were like, what are we going to do? And his clients, I really want those blinds. So I'm like, no problem. Let's go get them. So we loaded up his big old truck. We loaded up with our 25-foot trailer and his big old truck. So we were like, okay, this is going to be a different trip because we can't just go anywhere like we normally do. And yes, this is a great story. And so he's like, we're going to have to be picky and choosy on where we go and where we stop because some parking lots are really narrow and it's hard with a big truck and a big trailer. And it's so funny because I talked about this on several of my TikToks and people are like, it's no big deal. It's just a truck and a trailer. You have no idea. Like it really is, it can be, you know, hard depending on the circumstances. We ended up getting in a wreck too on the way home. We're fine, and the trailer was fine, the truck was fine, the blinds were fine. It was a little fender bender, but it just goes to show, like, you know, you just have to be careful. So anyway, we're driving to Lamar, and he says, I don't want to stop very many places, but on the way back, we were planning on stopping in Poplar Bluff, Missouri to spend the night, but on the way back to Poplar Bluff and on the way home, we would stop and eat, and we like to thrift. We like to go to vintage places that have vintage goods, and we like to collect things, of course. So yeah, I know. Yeah, we had a little fender bender. It's okay though. It was a little bit of a bummer, but we were 45 minutes from home. I'll tell you that story next. So I'm just gonna glue this and put this down. And now I've got a wonderful paper here. So we're just driving, and he did not want to stop often. He wanted to get to Lamar. That was his goal. And I was like, it's not that big of a drive. Like, it's okay. And then I said, I really want to stop at Lambert's. Now, Lambert's is in Missouri, in Sikeston. The home of the throwed rolls is how they're known. And it's really only 3 hours from us, but I have never been. I've driven past it, but I've never been. And he's like, let's just stop on the way back. And he was just giving me a really hard time. He was being Mr. Grumpy Pants. Do you know what I'm talking about, ladies? Mr. Grumpy Pants. And we had stopped at a couple of places, and then he was like, no, that's it. I don't want to stop anymore. Let's eat somewhere else, and let's just go, to Lambert's on the way back. And I was like, no, because sure as the world, we might go a different way, and we may not go. That's happened before. And I really, really wanted to eat there, and I want to have that experience. So we went to somewhere similar in Branson, and they do have a location in Branson, but we never got to go. So anyway, I was like, I want to compare the two places, and I want to see what it's like. So hemming and hawing, we show up. Now, I'm telling you this because we showed up at the time that we did, at the right time. Because, again, we had stopped at a couple of places, and then we had to get gas, and he was like, they want to stop, whatever. So, y'all, we end up stopping, and there was a little bit of a wait, but it wasn't too bad. They sat us down, and we're right in the middle of the dining room. And so I'm just looking around, and I'm videoing, because I video everywhere we go for my TikTok. And I'm just videoing, and I know there's people next to me, and they're watching me, the table right next to me. A couple of them were watching me, and I don't want to embarrass anybody, but I want to get my video, because I want to create a TikTok for it. So I am just videoing behind them because it's just stuff everywhere. And then I catch this lady's eyes, and she's, the next table, I think 2 people in, facing me. She's just staring at me, and I was staring at her, and I thought, she looks familiar. She looks familiar. And I was like, I don't want her to think I'm staring. And then she decides to get up, and she's going to go to the bathroom with her friend, I guess. So she's staring at me. I'm staring at her, but I kept staring at the table, and I'm like, in my head, I'm thinking, I know her. I know her. And when she got up, I thought, I think I know who it is, but she looks different. And I've never met her in person, so I don't know. So her hair was curly, like my hair is curly right now. Usually I don't wear it like that. And so as soon as she passes me, I pick up my phone and I'm on Facebook. And I'm like looking through Miss Leesa, looking at her Facebook and trying to see if she's ever worn curly hair, to see if it's her. And I'm like, I don't know. I don't see it, but I really think it's her. Then all of a sudden, I feel a tap on my shoulder as she returns to the table from going to the bathroom. And as soon as I looked up, I was like, I knew it! I knew it! I knew it! And she was going through the same thing. She told her friend, I think I know her. And she was looking at my Facebook page in the bathroom. Isn't that so funny? Like, had we waited a few minutes longer, or had we, showed up earlier, we would have got sat somewhere else. But we got sat right next to her, and we were able to hug and meet. And I was looking for the picture. I thought I had it on my iPad, but I didn't. And right before I went live, and I was like, oh man. So I'll post that again. But it was such a pleasure to meet her in person, because I really was like, I'm going to meet her. I want to meet her. There's something about her. I want to meet her in person. And God just took care of it. She was literally on her way. Now, let me just tell you, she only lives like an hour and a half or so from me. And she lives in Tennessee, and I'm in Western Kentucky. Nashville is less than 2 hours away from me, and she lives outside of Nashville. And that's why I thought, oh, I can go over there like super easy. Like, we do that stuff all the time. It's not hard. And so here she was. She fell right into my lap, and we met her husband, and our husband spoke while we talked a little bit, and it was just so much fun. You know, it just goes to show, like, whenever you have a prayer request or a desire or a need, um, sometimes he just throws it right there on your lap. And you're like, you didn't even have to do that. Why did you do that? Because I could have been sat somewhere else and maybe she would have mentioned one day, I'm like, oh, I was there that same day. I missed you. I can't believe it. But no, he made it happen where I was able to meet her, and it was such a joy, such a treasure. So I'm pretty sure this is perfect. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? I'm gonna use that in the next journal. So we'll be doing that Sundays. I'm usually on at 7. I'm thinking that it's gonna be 7 again. Usually that's what I've been doing. Painted Sky Paints Company said, "How fun! I hope to meet her someday too." Listen, and it's so funny because a lot of people have come out to Dina Ray's like events, and there were several people, and I was like, oh man, I wish I could. Like last time it was in Hopkinsville, that's 30 minutes from me. And there were several people that I was like, oh, I wish I could run over there and meet them, but there was something going on. I need to talk to Dina and make her schedule her events around my schedule. I need her to schedule it around my schedule. All right, this is just packing paper, and there's some stains here, which is wonderful. This is a sheet of 8.5 by 11. I'm thinking that I'm going to take this. I have this coffee dyed paper, and I'm gonna put some pattern paper on it as well. And then I'm gonna do this. But where is my stinking, what do you call that thing? Ruler. I like to tear paper, but I don't know what I did with it. I was here the other day and I moved it, and you know, I have such a huge mess here, as you can imagine, as most crafters do. All right, well, I have this other one. It just doesn't cut as well, but let's see. All right, so I'm just going to line this up and cut it. And I am going to create like an envelope. We're going to decoupage on top of the pattern paper, like decoupage on decoupage. I'm trying to post the photo, but I can't. Oh, you can't post it? You have it? Yeah. Well, maybe after the live. Oops. It's hard to rip paper. Oh, and I moved it. I so moved it. It's hard to rip paper backwards. That is my story. Yeah, we'll have to post that picture after. All right, let me see if I can't get this. And I may have to adjust the paper since I ripped it. Let me see. We're going to adjust it. All right. So let's see. Let's see what this looks like. It doesn't have to be the same size anyway. And I was thinking, do I even really want it that size? So that's actually okay. So I'm just going to line this up. Okay, let's do it here. 11 and 11. So this one is so thick. I like my metal ruler. So I love using pattern paper as a page for envelopes, for all the things. So I literally keep all of them. And I thought it would be cool to see how dark this could get. Because, you know, whenever you decoupage anything, which is basically what we're doing, you typically take your paper and you want to, oh, I like this. You want to line it up and decoupage it on something that's lighter because it'll give it some vibrancy and then you can see everything. But this is a big one. I'm trying to see if there's like an easier way. I'm just going to rip this. Maybe I'll do something different with it. Okay. I'm just going to go ahead. I like the lines. I like, and then it says extra small, small, large. I think that'd be cool. Because when you layer paper on top of paper, it just becomes thicker. And it looks really cool. So this is going to be dark because, again, I'm taking brown paper and I'm gluing it onto brown paper. So normally I'm doing a lighter like this, and I'll show you the comparison. So I'll keep this here and we'll see how dark this gets. We'll look at it. But Miss Dina Ray is like, she's like the spring. She's just like always radiating, always smiling, always laughing and giggling. I did get to meet her in person. She came to my store here in Madisonville and with Kenny one day to meet me. We've done a couple of lives and events together. Um, we're hoping that one day we can coordinate our schedules and go out to dinner. I would love that. But she's just so bright and so cheery. And she is another lady that really shines her light like Leesa. And I thought, I've got to put some tissue paper, some flowers, some brightness. I wonder if I want to do it this way. I think I do. So I'm just going to stretch this. And listen, I embrace wrinkles. We all have wrinkles. I think it adds character. And there's some people that don't like their wrinkles, and that's okay. But I'm not trying to have this perfect. I just want it stretched enough where I can make this work. But look at that. I love the wrinkles. It adds character, and it just looks special. And it's perfectly okay. Did I see? Wait, did you see I said her event in September in Hopkinsville for her birthday? No. Okay, September. Yes, her birthday is in September. And so is mine. I'm gonna have to talk to her. Are you going to that? I love Hoptown. We go a lot for shopping and for dinner. It's a small town. It's not like Nashville at all or Clarksville, but they have a little bit more than we have because we are in a small town. Although we just got a Hobby Lobby last year, I want to say. So I used to go there for Hobby Lobby or for, like I said, going out to eat. I think I'm gonna leave this like that. I like this. I wonder. No. All right. So what I want to do, I need to find out about her events in Hoptown. I know when her birthday is. I wonder if it's around her birthday or if it's like kind of in between mine and hers. Oh, here we go. Okay, so let's compare. Do you see how much brighter this is? And it's because I decoupaged this onto white paper, but I decoupaged the same exact paper onto the brown paper, so it's a lot darker. So it's not like it's wrong to decoupage on darkness, but if you want your paper to have some vibrancy, or if you want to dull it down, like if you have a really bright napkin and you want to decoupage it onto brown, it's going to kind of dull it down a little bit, take away a lot of that bright color. So it could work either way for you. Have you found a glue stick that actually sticks? So, great question. I love the Yoo-Hoo, but it got a little bit pricey, and the big ones were hard to find. This is Yoo-Hoo right here, the Yoo-Hoo stick. Let me see. It's like blurry. There we go. You can screenshot that. They have the big white sticks like this, but I was having a little bit of a hard time finding it, and then I found this one, which is made by Doris, which, you know, they closed a couple years ago, and these glues are non-toxin and acid-free, and they work really, really well. So they're a little bit less expensive than the Yoo-Hoo stick, but I do love me the Yoo-Hoo stick. But these are great. So I use these now, and I don't know if you can see, but behind me, I have a big box. I buy them like minimum of 12, I believe. So I love this. Yeah, her birthday is September 12th. So it's her birthday weekend. I'll have to look at my schedule and see what's going on. You guys can get a glimpse. Oh yes, look at the picture. on her page on Crafting and Cruising and look at the picture of her and I meeting. Now, we were both traveling, so be kind. She was going to Branson for her last hurrah before her surgery. And like I said, we were going to Lamar. What are the chances? God is so good. He's so good. So I'm just going to take off this top layer of the napkin. The second one has some ghost print, which I love to use, and maybe we can use that on the back. Maybe we'll do that. All right, so I'm going to look at this. I chose this one because it has pink, but also because it is a full design. Sometimes they're not. So let's look at that and see. Did you, Hopkins. So you are going, okay, we're going to have to go. My daddy was from Hoptown. His grandfather who raised him was city commissioner. I think you did tell me that. That is so cool. That is so cool. I love Hoptown. I do. I put you in the agency house. I put you in the. Are you talking to Leesa? Haha, house. Did agents? AWC. Okay. I guess they're talking about the event, maybe, or an event. So I am going to now put this entire napkin on top of this. It's just going to add more layers. I mean, they're thin. It's not going to be like extraordinarily thick because it's two thin layers, but I just think it's going to be super cool and it'll add some interest in the journal. You could cut pieces off of the napkin and only apply certain pieces. I usually like to do that a lot with little things, especially like tags or, I mean, anything. I've done it with anything. Mixed media art. Love mixed media art, and I love using napkins for all the things. I've used napkins on furniture. I started off painting furniture, so I have used napkins on everything. All right, I'm just going to see, I'm just carrying this over, and now with the napkin, you really want to be careful. Got some glue. All right, I'm going to carefully, I like using this. This is just a wallpaper squeegee. I used to have them on my website, but I don't think that I have anymore. So as this is, and I'm going to have to like reinforce my edges a little bit, but I don't know if you can see it on the video vaguely. Yeah. You see these lines? 1, 2, 3, 4. And then the dark line here. You can see it. It's like subliminal. You know what I should have done? I should have stamped it with my favorite text stamp. I think I might do that on the top. All right, so I really wish I could find my ruler. No, it's too wet. It's too wet. All right, let me cut it like this. You always want to be careful with glue because if it's wet, it will tear. And of course, scraps are gold, so we're going to keep this. No, I love seeing the lines. I like the layers. And so that's what I wanted. I wanted the pattern paper, but I could also, I could reverse it and I can add the pattern paper on top of I could have started with my napkin and you would see the napkin behind, but it's not as bright because again, my foundation is darker. If I were to take this flower and apply it here, you'd be able to see it a lot better. And maybe I'll show you that. Maybe we'll do that. Okay, I'll show you how to do that. I'll show you the difference. We are playing and learning, or maybe remembering, because this is not new, but maybe you've never seen it. Because I know if you're following Leesa, she does a lot of beautiful artwork. So maybe you are not a paper crafter, or you just, sometimes I like seeing things. I'm like, oh, I hadn't done that in a while. Oh, I forgot about that. So even though it's not, you know, new, it's really kind of nice to have something to, oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah, I hadn't done that in a while. Let me try that again. I'm just going to put some glue. No, I'm not. Let me see. Let me do it this way. I'm going to love this paper in Miss Dina's journal. Now, this paper, this glue is really, really wet. Sometimes you have to shake the art glitter glue, and I didn't. And so when I poured it, it was really wet. I always want to just reinforce those edges. Are you using StreamYard? No, I use Switcher Studio. I don't prefer I can't get the word out. I don't prefer StreamYard. I've used it and I tried it, but I love this. This is what I use. It's my personal iPad and Switcher Studio that I use on the radio. But I like that I can have two camera angles, so I can use my iPad to stream on multiple platforms. So I'm streaming on my personal Leesa Boone. I didn't want to do Leesa Boone Designs, but I'm doing crafting and cruising, and then I'm also doing my YouTube, which is Leesa Boone Designs, and then I could do multiple. I could do, you know, as ever many I have, and then I could have different camera angles for different people, different things. So I'm gonna let this dry. So let's do this. I wanted to do the paper as well, but let's play with this so I can show you if I have a water pen handy, or let me see if I have water. Well, I have this bottled water. I guess I will sacrifice the bottled water. Well, actually, hold on. I have this little thing here, this little container. So I can pour a little bit of water. I get thirsty, so I always have drinks here to the side. Yes, you would never heard of Switcher Studio? Girl, I'll tell you all about it. You can call me. You can call me. You can come up here to this radio station. I can show you how to use it even. Or I can come to you. I'm always looking for an excuse to travel. So I just use the brush. Did you see that? I created that line. Oh, I didn't realize I was kind of out of the camera angle. So I just wet my brush and I just drew a line. And then it gives me that organic edge, and I really like that. And then I have this, and I can layer all kinds of napkins or designs all over each other. So I think what I want to do is put this here in the corner. So I have an issue with straight lines. I don't like them. So this is what we're going to do. I'm going to show you this. I'm just going to draw, and I'm going to just pull this apart so that I have a really nice edge. And so I'm just using regular glue. You could, let me see how, all right, it goes to here. I could use matte medium. I could use, you know, any kind of different decoupage medium that you want to use. It's not a problem. You can do that. So I'm just going to lay this here in the corner. And you really, really want to be super gentle with your napkins because they tear easily. But because they're so thin, you can decoupage something else over it without a problem, and you can repair it, fix it. I have, you know, messed it up in the past and was not a problem. Look at how pretty that looks. You like torn edges also? Yes, I love me some torn edges. Okay. I feel like we might as well We might as well. I love butterflies. How am I going to do that? I think I want the butterfly to go like this. So I'm just going to create a line. Now, let me just show you this. If you've never seen this before, like let's say I wanted some, you love this? Oh, good. Yes, thank you for the hearts. I didn't see them. So let's say I wanted to grab this little tiny butterfly. So I'm going to put the line there. And here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to hold what I do not want. And I'm going to tear carefully with my fingers. I protected that wing. And I could literally, like, we're going to go like this. I can hold it this way and protect and pull. And sometimes I'll use my nail like that. I'll show you that to you again. And this is a really fat, I would prefer a liner brush, but this is what I had right in front of me. So if I'm doing fine detail, I'm going to use a thinner brush. And then I'm going to do because I see how that bled, that water. Okay, let me show you. My mat is dirty, dirty, dirty. That's all the vintage photo. All right, so I'm going to go like this. So now watch. I'm just going to use my nail carefully, and I'm going to pull away. But when you have such a thick brush with water and it bleeds into there, you want to really be careful. That's why I like using the fine brush. So see. And you can let that dry if you want. But now look, I can lay that and you don't hardly see the paper. So we might do that. We might lay that somewhere. Okay, let's take this one. So you can create your own paper by doing this, by layering it. I have a huge, okay, I'll leave it like that. I have a huge napkin stash, and I need to create some more bundles because I have too many. And then every time we go to these vintage shops, and I'm looking for napkins, I'm looking for doilies, I'm looking for vintage fabrics. And my husband's like, you don't need that. I'm like, yes, I do, because I have this other journal, because I'm in the crafty bunch and I can't use the same stuff. I need new stuff. And he makes fun of me. But I love collecting napkins. I really do. Okay, so that, all right. Because I was very careful, I was able to pull my little butterfly out. But I do not recommend that. I do not recommend what I just did. You want to be really careful. So I'm just getting it in the edge and then bringing it back. So, and here's the thing. With napkin, if you miss anything, like I could take my matte medium. I'll do that with another one. How much time do we have? And I could go over the napkin. It's super easy. All right, so we're going to have to let the glue dry because I do have glue everywhere. So how about if I put that little critter right there? Oh, that looks good. Okay. So I'm just going to put glue there. And see, it's not going to be very noticeable because it's brown on brown. If it was white, it would be a little bit noticeable. Isn't that so pretty? Wait, let's go. All right. So now we just made this pretty book. I just have to be careful there. Out of pattern paper any kind of, booklet, you could have printed that on copy paper and then just embellish this. Let me back out a little bit. No rush, Leesa. Take all the time you need. Okay. Well, my husband is waiting for dinner. That's the only thing. When he doesn't like it when I do lives necessarily during the week. I mean, we've got lots of food. I made a huge lasagna and I did that on purpose on Sunday. Well, he asked me. I said I'll do whatever, but I was planning on whatever I made that I would make a big batch so that kind of self-sufficient and he could eat whatever. And we have multiple things that I made that day so that it was ready to go. I knew I had the live. I'm like, you know, but yeah, whenever I do lives around this time, he's like, thank you for being here. Yes. Hey, Linda Sue. Tammy? Hey, girl. All right. So look at how pretty. I love that. So that's going in there. So then this paper is definitely, and if we wanted, we could do this. This is the ghost printing. But I typically don't like white paper in my journals. But you could do that. It really wouldn't be white because it's going to absorb some of that brown. All right. For the sake of showing you, I will do it. I will do it. This way you could see the difference between the two. And it's going to make sense because it's going to speak to the front if you see any of it. Let's test it out. With these glue sticks, I'm famous for it. Don't push too hard because you're going to just waste glue. This glue really does work. I do like using the art glitter glue on the edges. It's just I typically try not to do too much wet stuff when I'm doing the napkins unless I'm brushing on like my DIY paints liquid patina. I've used that before, or matte medium. And usually I'm doing that on something that's a little bit thicker. Oh, you're okay. I gotcha. I thought it was another Tammy. I have a friend that's Tammy Johnson, and she's Lavender and Grace. That's her business. It's nice to meet you, Tammy. I get to meet all new people. That's another reason why it's a good thing to go on somebody else's page and do a live. We should probably do an event like that where we go on different people's pages. That would be kind of fun. Like, surprise everyone. They think that it's going to be, their person and then it's somebody else. That might be really fun. All right, so I'm just doing that. I'm going to stretch this just so I don't get that line in there. I think it's on there pretty good. Whenever you're decoupaging, the main thing, you want to make sure that your center is locked in solid, that it's glued really well. That would be so much fun, wouldn't it? Leesa, I'm new to crafts. I'm learning from your great. Oh, that's awesome. Oh, listen. I forgot to take away the third. That's why it was looking kind of dark. I was like, so I should have decoupaged this one, but I decoupaged the white one. And that's okay. That's okay. I'm going to show you what we can do to embellish this. But see how it's not bright white? It's not bright white because of the brown. But if I had decoupaged on a lighter background, it would pop. It would be brighter. So on my business page, on my website, I have tons of decoupage papers. This is a little bit about me. Like I said, I started off painting furniture, and then I started doing mixed media, and then I started doing paper crafts again. Thought I'd never do paper crafts again. And I threw away, gave everything away, and then here I am collecting all the things. Because remember, it's not hoarding, it's collecting, right? So I'm a retailer for DIY paint for as of right now, legally, technically, but I'm actually giving all of that up. I also am a retailer for Iron Orchid Designs, same thing. Recycled decoupage papers. I'm going to hit this all on the corners. So I have all kinds of things if you're interested. And I do have some napkin collections. I need to put more. I need to put more on there because I do have a lot of napkins. All right. Just going to let that. So I love that this is going to be one of Miss Dina's journal pages. I'm excited, but I'm sad that we're done because this Sunday's going to be the last one because we were the last group. Vintage was the last group. See, this tore a little bit, but this is the edge, so we're good. It's okay. And even if it didn't, like, life is not perfect. So many times we think that when we're crafting or when we're painting or when we're creating something that it has to be perfect, but I hate to break it to you. Only God is perfect. There's nothing that's perfect. And when we work to achieve perfection, we're always going to be frustrated. Always going to be frustrated. So if the paper breaks, that's okay. We can create something different, right? So now look at this. It's not dry, it's wet. But do you see the weight of it versus, like, see how flimsy? It's so flimsy. But even just adding 2 sheets of tissue paper, it just strengthened it a little bit. And so, we're going to fold this in half once this dries. And this is going to be a page. So, like, just imagine, you're going to be flipping. And I like seeing the different textures and the different pages. And then this might be a page in itself as well. I mean, look at how pretty that is. Oh, thank you for following me, Linda Sue. My website is leesaboondesigns.com. So it's Leesa Boone, Boone, designs @gmail.com. All right. So, see, I've got all kinds of napkins here. This would have been pretty too, but I decided not to do this one because she likes pink and aqua. So this is one that I had on my desk for a different project. All right, so this is what I want to do. I want to show you. So we've got like that. We can put napkin on here or the pattern paper, and this could be a really pretty journal card. This is a scrap from one of the things I did. I also wanted to take one of these. I love using sheet music. I usually use hymnal. Let me see if I have a hymnal though. Yeah, because this is for my girl Dina. All right, so we're gonna do the same thing. Let me move this here. I definitely want the other paper. And these pattern papers, I mean, think about this. Look at this. Look at how large this is. This is like massive. There's so much that you can do with this paper. Like, you can do so many projects. All right. So I wanted that simplicity on there. Let me see if anything else. Okay. Oh, look at how cool this one says phone, computer, and email. Like, that's just, like, probably when computers, look at that, when computers first started. Like, so funny. All right. I am going to just rip. And it doesn't rip like everything else because it has fibers. And I don't know if you can see it or not. I think that's why I love pattern paper so much. Like, can you see the fibers? I don't know if you can. I'm going to see if I can't just rip this down. There we go. All right. I love pattern paper because my grandmother was a seamstress, and it reminds me of my grandmother. And whenever I hear those scissors, those thick scissors on the table cutting fabric, whoo, I love that sound. I love that sound. It reminds me of her. Okay. I'm going to see if I can't. It just breaks wonky, but I love it. Okay, so we're going to, let's see. In the cross of Christ, guide me, O thou great Jehovah, my Jesus. So, I'm trying to think of which one I want to be the back and which one I want to be the front. So this is thin. You could line it with something else, but I think I'm going to just... I'm trying to think if I want that to be my front. Okay, I think I want to do it this way. All right, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to glue this. And what's great is that when you add that glue, even if it's thin paper, the glue helps it to become a little bit more sturdy. So that's what's great about layering and gluing. But I have this theory that whenever you cut paper and you start gluing it, there's a healing. There's something that happens. It's a calmness. It's, you know, it just, there's something special about it. And then I talked to somebody one, and she was like, I need to do it this way. I was going to do it opposite. She was, I think, a therapist. And she said, yes, you're spot on. I thought, Hey, Linda Brown, watching from YouTube on your TV. That's awesome. Good evening. Let me know what you guys have been doing today. Today was a beautiful day. So if you're going to put some pressure, turn it over. Because I always like to put a little bit of pressure, but you want to be gentle with these thin pieces of paper. I'm going to add some. This is art glitter glue. And see how it's going straight through? You want to be careful because you don't want to rip it. And this will dry fast, and it'll dry clear, even though it's a white glue. So I'm going to cut this. It's easier if you wait. Your back, painted sky, good. So I'm just cutting this. And this is going to be a little envelope. I love using vintage papers and making my own envelopes. It's kind of hard to see with the light. I definitely love using hymnal papers as pages, as journal spots, as envelopes, all the things, and the pattern paper, and combining all of it together. I originally wanted that black line on there, but that's okay. So scraps or gold, save them. So I'm just going to do like a really cool, simple envelope. So we're just going to push this. I don't know. I'm kind of digging this. I think I want to do it this way. Oh, yes. Yes, that's perfect. I'm glad I did that. So I'm just going to maybe go like this. Usually I would wait for this to dry. And then I'm just going to bring this down. And now this is an envelope. So if you've never made an envelope, that is how easy. Let me do this. That is how easy. And I'd wanted, like, all of these papers I am going to sew around, and it creates like a really pretty border. And I would probably do the same thing with this. Like, you can create a really pretty border with like a flower stitching, or just do zigzag on there. Sometimes I will take, you have to let this dry all the way, but sometimes I'll go around the entire envelope and then glue these together, and then this. So this is really flimsy. If you wanted to make it a little bit sturdier, because you're going to be putting things in and out all the time, you could. This is girl math. This is how I would do this. Just to make it a little bit sturdier, I'll glue an inside piece. The glue is sticking to me. And this could be a pocket. Like, I save all of that. So, and here's the thing too. If you want, you can use a silicone based glue like Fabri-Tac here. And that's going to add a little bit more as well. So I'm just going to go on the outside. No need to waste a lot of glue, but I want to make sure, maybe just a little bit, just to keep it there. This glue gives you a little bit of time before it dries, a little bit more so than the other glue. See, I can pick it up and move it, so I'm just going to center it. I definitely want it on top here. And then it takes, see, now that's so much sturdier, so that you can get something in and out. But you could also create a little notch here. I was trying to stitch on some paper and fabric. My silly sewing machine was acting up. ChatGPT tried to help me, but my arm was killing me after a bit. Oh, so had to literally walk away. Fabric laying everywhere, etc. It is so frustrating when it doesn't work. With any piece of technology doesn't work, that is one of the most frustrating things. Well, you cut the corners on the top of the envelope to resemble a regular envelope. Cut the corners like rounded. I often like to do that. You don't have to. So I like to make all different kinds of envelopes. Sometimes I will take, I wonder if, I have one here. This is more like a regular envelope. So this is actually napkin that I had decoupaged. I forgot I did this onto, I think this is tracing paper. And then I added a little transfer on there. So it's nice and see-through. And then I added, and I left it like sticking out. I kind of like that. So you can see if you put something in it. An envelope in an envelope. Like, you can see through. Or if you did a little booklet. Let me see if my booklet would fit. Ooh, yes. That would be really pretty. I could do my card to her that way. So this is an envelope that I created, like a regular envelope. Do I have another one? But I would do different colors for her since she likes. So see, let me see. This is coffee dyed paper with a napkin on it. It's really flimsy, so I was debating if I wanted to reinforce it or not. Or I could cut it diagonal, and it could be like a little, if it was diagonal, a little tuck spot. So I do these on vellum. I like it on vellum better, and I actually use decoupage medium on the napkin, and so it gives it some texture. But then I've done it too where I will use my DIY wax, my furniture wax, and put it on my paper, and it comes out looking so good and feeling really, really awesome. So I have a lot of these, and I just cut them in different sizes where you can just stick them in a journal and write on the back. So I've just done this on coffee dyed paper. I'm trying to see if there's anything else that I have over here at my disposal. All right, so here's what I want to show you, because it's 7:59 and I am hungry. So let me see if this is gonna dry. All right, so I like to round my corners I'm going to see. This is kind of broken a little bit. Let me see. I need to glue that down. Let me see if I can get it in. Okay. There we go. Maybe. Okay. Need to glue that down a little bit better. Okay. And then, so when she puts something in here, she will see abide with me, maybe, but she'll see my Jesus as thou wilt. And then she'll still see all of this here. And then you could leave this like this, or you could stamp it. So that's one of the things I wanted to show you. So here, this is what I like to do. I'll do this on this one. And if you watch me on Sunday, I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to do, but I'll be putting that signature together. I never get it done, but I get it started. And then we will be revealing our signatures. I love doing this. And just that little bit of texture gives it just that special little touch. Just this little rubber stamp with just like gibberish text and vintage photo. And then, you know, if you wanted, you could add a little bit here, make it a little bit more grungy. This was already kind of collaged, but just adding that little bit, just a little bit, really makes a big difference. And so I like adding text up on text like that, see? And you can see the layers. You can see the paper. You can see the text. You can see the music paper. So we've got a couple of things that we're going to do for her journal. And then, is that all I did? Oh yeah, this one. So it's the same thing with this one. I like adding, oh, it feels better. It's a little bit more dry. So I want it to go this way. And it picks it up in all the right places. All right, there we go. And so now I've just created my own paper using paper that you would throw away, right? The packing paper was this. Paper that you might throw away. Napkins that are pretty inexpensive. And so I'm going to fold this in half. And again, if I wanted, I could have cut this into a square and made an envelope out of it. Fuzzy hair. Thank you so much, Leesa. I've learned so much from you tonight. I'm grateful for your sister. Sister, I am grateful for you. So how I would finish this off too is, first of all, I am going to sew the edges, but I like to add a little bit on the edges. And this paper is going to be flimsy. She will never know how I made this paper. And it's just so cool. And if you want, you can trim it later when it's a little bit more dry, and then get some nice straight edges. But if I left it like this, she's going to see the layer. She's going to see that there's napkin there, and I kind of like that. I was going to put some on here, but maybe I'll do that for Sunday. So this is what we created today. And now see how we have a theme going. We've got colors that are going to make sense for vintage. We got the vintage girl. We've got this paper looks vintage. I think it's going to be super cool. I love the texture of this. This, if you go ahead and use the DIY wax, is going to feel so good. And I might do that. And you know what? I could maybe use this as the signature cover. I haven't thought about her signature cover. So who knows? Who knows what I will come up with by Sunday. So thank you guys for coming on and encouraging Leesa. Make sure you're following her. Make sure you're interacting on her page so that she doesn't skip a beat, because that's important for small businesses. to keep their businesses going. We want to support her and we want to encourage her and we want to pray for her as well. Explain about the wax. Okay. Pray for Leesa. All right. So this is DIY paint, clear wax. I don't know what I want to do with that paper. Let me see. I'll do it on this. Let me get my little brush. Is this good? Hold on. Hold the phone. Who remembers that? Hold the phone, please. Oh, here it is. Here it is. Here it is. I like to use this chip brush. I have just a little bit of wax. So, like, these kind of projects are perfect for it. I wish, oh, here we go. I have my silicone. All right. So I'm just going to literally wax. This is furniture wax. I'm going to wax the paper. I have used soy candle melts, and you can iron them on. I have a whole big bag of them. And way too much that I don't need, but you can do it that way too. But I love DIY paint wax. And it's just, this is the brand, DIY Paint. I don't have any more clear. I have white and black left, I think. But this clear wax hardens over time. And so, like, the paper is going to get protected. I'm trying to think if I have, it just, I can already feel, like, I know that I didn't miss a spot because I can feel it. Maybe there. Maybe there. I've done a lot of envelopes like that, just different papers. And I wish you could feel it. Now what we do is we just leave it alone and let it dry. And once it's dried, it hardens up, it protects that paper, and it's going to make it even more durable. And I don't even know if you can, let me see. This is a little bit flimsy. This is a little bit harder. It's the same. But it's going to get even more durable, but it's going to protect that tissue paper. And it just gives it a wonderful texture. So I love using wax. You can buy like small waxes if you're doing it just for paper crafting, or you can get those soy melts. And what you want to do with the soy melts, the candle melts, is you just put a couple of little pieces. And I actually have a little baggie. I have a baggie of it somewhere here close by. I'll try to find it for Sunday because I was putting it in kits. And so you just need a little bit, and then you put parchment paper on top, not wax paper, parchment paper, and then you protect your iron, and then you iron it, and then it gets wet. You can see it. It changes. And then if you do it just on certain papers, it'll become translucent. So it's a different effect, but it's super cool. And you have to let it dry and cure. And it's super, super cool. I'll have to do that on the live. I know I have one, but I know Facebook got rid of all of our previous lives that we worked so hard for, you know? So those are all gone. So it wouldn't be a bad thing to recreate. Maybe I can do that one day and show you what that's like, but it's super cool. So, all right, guys, I want to thank you. Let's pray for Miss Leesa. Will you join me in praying for her? So, Father, I just thank you for Leesa, for all the things that she's doing, for who she is in you. And I thank you, Father, for a speedy recovery. I thank you for the pain to be gone and go away, for everything to heal the way that it's supposed to heal. I thank you for her marriage, Father. And I just thank you that you are in the midst of her marriage, in her home, in her family, and her friends, her house, that her house is a haven of peace. And I just thank you for what she's doing in for you, and what you're doing in her and for her and through her. And I just pray a blessing over Crafting and Cruising. I thank you, Father, that she reaches everyone that she needs to reach, that her light just shines so brightly. And I thank you, Father, for allowing us the opportunity to get to know her and to call her a friend. So thank you, Father, in Jesus' name, amen.